So why do people choose to hurt you or to abuse you? And what can you do to not be hurt anymore, to get out of it, to dust yourself off, break through those chains, and to actually create a beautiful life? If that's something you're interested in, stay tuned. Hello and welcome. My name is Kartika Nair and you're watching Synchro Shakti. So I see you sitting there in the corner hurting. I see how your light is dimmed by the words somebody has said or the things somebody has done to you. I understand the pain that you're experiencing is excruciating, and I know that pain. Most of the spiritual lessons I have learned in my life has come from people, from suffering people. But I've also learned so much from that I have a lot to share to you on how you can really dust yourself off, pull yourself back up, and be a vibrational match to wonderful things and wonderful people in your life. So if you're excited, let's get started. So the first thing I want you to understand is this pain that you're feeling is not your fault. You're human and you're going to feel pain when something like this happens. Even when you're enlightened, you will still feel pain because pain is a human emotion. It is part of your guidance system. You can't separate yourself from it. But what you can do is you can not suffer the pain anymore, process the pain, come out of it, and shift yourself vibrationally to receive a completely different reality when it comes to relationships from the same people that have been abusing you. Are you excited to experience that and to explore that? If yes, let's begin. So the first thing you need to do to process out of this pain, in fact in this video we're not really going to look so much on processing pain. That's coming in the very next video, so stay tuned. In this video I'm going to take you through the very first step of processing your pain that is happening and to make sure that this doesn't happen again in your reality. The first step is to understand why people choose to abuse you and to hurt you. So let's start. When somebody chooses to abuse you or to hurt you, it starts off like this. They see you through their lens, okay? So they don't see the truth of you. They don't see your truth or your beauty or your goodness or the intention you had was not bad. They misinterpret. They don't see all of that. They see you through their lens. And their lens is built from their experiences, what their father said and did to them, what their mother said and did to them, what life said and did to them, their school classmates, teachers, their failures, their insecurities, their pain. So all of that builds their lens. So they're seeing you through this lens. So they're creating an image of you, not the real you, but their version of you. And because they're seeing you through this lens, something you have said to them or done or not done anything. Maybe you didn't say anything, maybe you didn't do anything. You just walked past their reality, just minding your own business. But somehow something has triggered off some sort of negative emotion in them when they see you. Now this negative emotion, for the sake of this video, I'm going to call pain. But this pain could be any negative emotion. It could be anger, it could be fear, it could be jealousy, it could be insecurity, it could be irritation, it could be any negative emotion they feel. For the sake of this video, we're going to call it pain. Yes, so they feel some sort of pain when they see you. Maybe you said something, maybe you did something, maybe you didn't do anything, maybe you didn't say anything. But something is triggered off pain in them. Now, when someone feels pain, there are two things that happen. First is the pain that they're feeling from what your existence is, just by you being you. And then there is the pain of their life already. So this pain plus already all the pain that they're holding in their life, it comes together. It gets added together. And now these guys feel one thing called double pain. So now you have the regular pain. They were getting irritated by you or they got angry at you or whatever. Plus the pain of their life already. You may not even know the things they've been through in their life that have caused them to hold on to so much pain internally. So both of these add and you get this thing called double pain. Now, as a human being, when a human being feels so much pain, there are two things that they feel instinctually to do. Immediately they need to do two things. Understand these two things. Number one, because they're in so much pain, they have to make you feel their pain by hurting you. So So the first thing they'll do is they need to show you how much they're hurt, irritated, upset, whatever. They have to show that by making sure you feel as much pain as possible, by harming you, either by saying really bad things to you or doing something to you or hurting you in some form or some way. They have to make you feel pain, because that's the only way they feel you will recognize their pain. That's the only way they feel you will recognize their pain, is by hurting you. That's the first thing. The second thing is, when somebody is holding on to so much pain, even if they're abusing you with a smile on their face, or they're laughing, they're smirking, and they're hitting you, kicking you, whatever they're doing, they are still deep within hurt only. Hurt people hurt people. It's not happy people hurt people. It is hurt people hurt people. They've hurt because of something that happened to them. Now, the second tendency we have as humans is, when we have pain, we don't want to feel the pain. We want to be empty of this pain. In fact, we want to feel powerful. So what people do is they'll throw the pain onto you, so they don't have to feel it. They'll throw it onto you because that's what makes them feel powerful for the time being. It's not a long-term power. For the time being, for temporarily, they feel powerful by throwing the pain on you. Now, what shall we do about this? So we now understand what's going on. It has nothing to do with us, but they chose to throw their pain on us. So what should we do? Now we are in pain. What you will want to do, in fact, pretty much everyone watching my video right now would say, I need to throw it back on them. I have to give it back to them. I need to stand up for myself. I have to put boundaries so they know not to mess with me. And I'm telling you, if you do that, if you throw your pain on that person, because that's what's going to make you feel powerful, make you feel good for the moment, if you throw pain on that person, it's going to trigger their pain. And what do we do with pain? We throw it. So they'll throw their pain back on you. You'll feel hurt. You'll throw your pain back on them. Now, you may not yell. You may not curse. You may just switch off. That's another way in which you act on pain. You may lock yourself in the room. You may stop talking to them. You may block them. You may curse them in your mind. That's all throwing pain. Okay, it's all expressing pain. Now, the war will never end that way if you're just throwing pain on each other. That's the first thing. Second thing, you believe that if you stood up for yourself and you put these boundaries and you yelled at them or did whatever, or didn't yell, you just blocked them, that somehow they're going to learn their lesson to never do this again. A little bad news here, you're not the one who teaches them their lessons. The true lesson they need to learn spiritually to understand themselves and to grow and to not really do stuff like this, not really throw their hurt on others, not abuse others, that lesson is not yours to teach them. In fact, it may not be how they're going to learn that lesson. They learn that lesson through their own life experiences. When enough people or enough things happen to them, they're going to seek a way out of their pain, and then they'll try to learn these lessons. But okay, they may or may not learn their lesson, but you definitely will not learn what you need to learn by throwing your pain on other people, and I'll tell you why. So throwing your pain on others is not going to teach you to overcome pain. It's not going to teach you to process pain. It's not going to teach you to not attract it anymore. Attract people who are going to cause so much pain in your life. It's not going to teach you any of that. If anything, it's just going to keep hurting other people. Now, what is the alternative? Now you will tell me, Kartika, if I don't stand up for myself, if I don't put physical boundaries around me, if I don't tell them not to mess with me, they're going to keep messing with me. So I have to stand up for myself. And that's what most people are going to be thinking at this point of the video. That if I don't do anything, wouldn't they just keep hurting me? Now, one thing your mind forgot in all of this pain that we've experienced is that this universe is not a universe of words. Whatever sweet words also you say to people, they can still disrespect you. It's not a universe of action. You could really do so much good to them, only do your best for them, they'll still disrespect you. Have you experienced that? Because this universe is a universe of energy. It's an energetic universe. Everything matches energetically. Now, why is that important? Because if we stay in double pain, if we stay in pain, our thoughts are coming from this pain, our emotions are coming from this pain, our behavior is coming from this pain, Our attractions are coming from this pain. The results we get in our life is coming from this pain. So this becomes our reality. Pain becomes a basic friend that keeps walking with us through our lives. But if you learn to, and this is the important part, if you learn to transmute or convert this pain to peace, okay, this will feel very counterintuitive and your ego will not like this. But if you turn this pain that you feel into peace, it will feel like, oh my god, they're going to take advantage of me. But just listen. Vibrationally, you will change. This will take you about 1 year of healing to move from pain to peace. When you are in peace, your thoughts will come from this peace, your emotions will reflect this peace, your behavior will reflect the peace, your attractions will reflect the peace, and your entire vortex changes. Now, a couple of things happen here. Because it's a vibrational universe. I'm not speaking from the air, I'm speaking from my own experience. I'm also speaking from the experience of students who've done this, okay? Now, a couple of things happen. 3 things. Put out your hand like this, okay? And do it with me. The first thing that happens is these people who abused you will either stop abusing you, okay? Because there's no victim internally. There's no victim inside that is matching being victimized. They'll stop. Have you ever seen those people who you know, it's like the same horrible manager, but he treats you extra bad, but the other person not as bad. Why? Or the same mother-in-law treats you extra bad, but the other daughter-in-law, she doesn't treat that bad. Or she treats everybody bad, but some people, she just cannot treat badly. Because there's an energetic shield between you and other people. So this is what happens when you're in peace. So those people stop abusing you. Or the people who are abusing you disappear from your life, they vanish from your life. And the third one, they are replaced by new people who will bring more peace in your life, more peaceful people, because it's reflecting the peace that you are feeling. Okay, it takes about some time, it takes about a year to come to this point of peace. How to do that? Right next after this video, there's another video coming up on how to convert pain to peace. Okay, now the question would be, if we've been in this energetic universe and we're not victims, but there is something, all their pain points is related to them, what is it that brought us in proximity to these bullies anyway? What's the things that brought us in proximity to next to these bullies? If we know this, we can avoid this in the future. So I'm going to give you a quiz and tell me in the chat if you have any of these. I'm going to give you a 9-part quiz, okay? So tell me in the chat, do you, in relation to the person that is bullying you, or just generally, do you have low self-esteem? If yes, just type low self-esteem. Type it right now in the chat, low self-esteem. When there is dominance, somebody is dominating in your life, there is usually a self-esteem issue that is matching that. So low self-esteem. Number 2, low self-love. You put other people on a pedestal more important than you are. You'll please them to no end and keep rubbing yourself off instead of actually doing the opposite. Low self-esteem. So low self-love. Third, unhealed pain of the past and unhealed pain of today. So you're neither healed from the pain of the past or the things they did to you, you still hold unforgiveness towards them, you still feel like a victim to them, and you're not healing the pain that is coming up in your life right now. The pain is getting buried, you're sleeping over it, you're pushing it under the surface, or your toxic positivity, pushing yourself to think better as opposed to actually processing the pain and releasing it from your nervous system. It's still in your nervous system. So if it's still there, put unhealed pain of the past. Next, victim consciousness. Victim consciousness is when you see yourself as a victim to the world. You feel smaller, you feel powerless to people. Victim consciousness. As long as there's energetically, as long as there's a victim, there's a victimizer. We need to shift that consciousness, which I'll get to right after this. Next, fear of people. You just generally feel unsafe around people. If that's what you have, write that down. Okay, you're taking a quiz here, so write down what applies to you. Next, fear of judgment from people. You don't know from which corner what you might do that might get you judged. So you're scared. You're scared to say what you want to say. You're scared to do what you want to do because you're scared of judgment. And there's fear of judgment. It's a great vibrational match to people who will judge you. Next one, people pleasing because you feel safe. Your safety is completely in the hands of other people's emotions. So if they are happy with you, they like you, you feel safe. If they're unhappy or they don't like you or they're upset with you, you completely, it's like the earth falls from beneath you. You're completely unsafe, unsupported. So you'll do whatever it takes to please people so that you can sleep at night peacefully. Next, judging other people. Judging other people. This person is like this, they're always like that, they're not even capable of doing these kind of positive things, or these people are bad, that person is bad. Generally having a judgmental attitude around human beings puts you in the vibration of being judged. Like attracts like, right? Because it's an energetic world. Not what you say, not what you do, it's the emotion you feel, it's deeper inside. Finally, resistance. Resistance is that fear of constantly worrying about who is around the corner is going to knock you down. What's going to happen tomorrow? Will somebody hurt me tomorrow? Will somebody hurt me tonight? Oh, this person's coming home today. Is all hell going to break loose? That fear, that anticipation, that resistance. I hope it doesn't happen. I wish it doesn't happen. I wish it never happened. That resistance is also a creative force. So there's a lot to unpack here. What's on the other side of this? What can we do better? So first tell me in the chat, what was your score? Out of all these 9, low self-esteem, self-love, unhealed pain, victim consciousness, fear of people, fear of judgment, people pleasing, judging other people, and resistance. Out of these 9, what was your score? That's just going to tell you the energetic map. There's no victim shaming here at all. I want to empower you. I want you to get up. I want to dust you off, and I want you to move you and bring you to a different vibration so you create differently. So I have to teach you this part. So what's on the other side? How can we move past these negative emotions? So to move past this, okay? So this is where I'm pulling you up and dusting you off. I'm going to read out the things that we are going to be doing together over the next year, together on this channel. So please stay subscribed or subscribe if you haven't, and like and tell me if you're liking this kind of content. We're going to do the following. I'm going to read through this list. Build higher self-esteem. Learn self-love and self-appreciation, which means when you touch your heart and you think of yourself, you feel this warm, buzzy feeling of what a beautiful soul I am. That is self-appreciation. To get to that point, to heal the pain of the past and to heal the pain that is showing up right now in your reality. Next, to be in a creator consciousness, but to be more specific, to be in a co-creator consciousness, which means instead of you taking all the load of changing your life on your shoulder, you surrender the load to the universe to heal and to do its magic. You just stay calm and focus on your peace on the inside. Next, learning to love people and appreciate them instead of only seeing their darkness. There is darkness and light in all of us, but there's light also in everybody. To be able to recognize that and appreciate that, because that's what's going to grow, and we'll go more into that later. To understand people, to understand that the way that they behave has nothing to do with you. It has to do with them, their past, their background, their history, their mother, their father, their insecurities, their stuff. You only focus on your energetic alignment. Now, the final one, to confidently be yourself. Confidently, I said. I didn't say be yourself, but be scared of what people are going to say. Be yourself, but be somewhere worried that what if somebody doesn't like me. I'm talking about confidently be yourself, because if you are not believing or backing yourself up and you're always worried whether people are going to believe you or not, they're going to poke a hole through your narrative. So confidently believing and supporting and confidently being yourself. We're going to dive, this part may not be clear to you yet. We'll dive more about that in future videos on this channel. So as you can see, there's a lot to unpack here. There's so much of information to still unpack, but I want you to stay tuned because we're going to go through each of these. When we're coming back in the next video, we're learning how to move from pain to peace, especially in relation to people, and how do you overcome the pain that you felt from the stuff that they've shared with you, or they've hurt you, the things that they've done. How do we kind of come out of all of that, shake ourselves off and dust ourselves up and start again? That's what we're going to do in the next upcoming videos. So please subscribe and let me know in the comments, because I'm a teacher. I want to know who's studying, who's learning from this video. Please tell me a summary of all that you've taken back from this video, even if it is that people are seeing us through their lens, Their lens has to do with their past. When they see things through their lens and they look at us, they sense some sort of pain. Could be anger, fear, jealousy, insecurity, something. When somebody is feeling, pain, it is their pain plus the pain of life, which creates double pain. This double pain is so painful to them, they have to either make you feel their pain or throw that pain onto you. If you can learn to take your pain and transmute it to peace, which is what we're going to do in the upcoming videos, you'll be able to vibrate in a different frequency. And many times that 99 times when I have responded in kindness, the people who abused me or hurt me learned somehow, they kind of saw themselves. Because they were expecting me to react and be defensive, but I came back in kindness and suddenly they saw themselves, because there was no angry face looking back at them. They saw themselves and suddenly apologized to me, saying, oh man, I realized why I barked at you, it was because of this. But not all of them will realize. It might take them years to realize their lessons. That's not our job. That's between them and their soul and their soul's path. Our job is only to simply find our peace. Okay, I love you. Let me know if this video was of value for you. Let me know. Put everything in the comments. The more comments I read makes me feel like there's actual community out there. And when there's an actual community, I feel like giving my entire being to you guys. But if I don't feel that, then I jump onto my academy and I teach my students. For some of you, okay, I'm not saying all of you, but for some of you, we still have to look at our actions and the way we spoke or the things we did to see if there's something that we could have done better. So this isn't just, hey, we are always the victim. There is also times where we have acted in a way that's not nice, that we have done things that we didn't even realize was a problem. We have to learn from that and to do better so we don't repeat these behaviors that might upset other people, which are actually wrong behaviors. I'm not saying all of the behavior you're doing that is upsetting people is wrong. In fact, maybe none of it is wrong. But there are some of us who are actually saying things in a way or doing things in a way or acting in a certain way that is hurtful to other people. So in this case, we have to take a look at ourselves in the mirror and say, hey, where am I being toxic in this? Where am I micromanaging? Where am I doing things that are actually going to offend people? If I can see that and know that I don't want to be that kind of person who is a bit of a Grinch or whatever that you are, that is affecting or hurting people, so they feel that the only way for them to feel heard is by hurting you, you still have to see that, am I part of this problem? If yes, how can I change my behavior in a way that doesn't hurt people, or in a way that can be more productive and effective through a more diplomatic strategy, or to better yourself or change your energy or work with people or figure something better than to do it in the toxic way that you've been doing it thus far. So sometimes we have to take a look at ourselves in the mirror and change our behaviors that might be the result why people keep getting hurt and wanting to hurt you. Okay, so this was one very important part that I needed to add. So please let me know. Let me feel like there's an actual community here watching. Please comment. Let me know how you felt about the video, the teaching, and if you want more on this topic. I love you all. Thank you so much for watching, and I look forward to seeing you in another video.